Oh well, that was a good copium run. So Tiki has clarified that the Gaius cooldown extension on the test server is indeed a bug. It is not a test patch, it's not a shadow nerf, it's nothing. How did that bug come about? I have no idea. But before he actually clarified this, I actually gave it some thought, and I do feel like this change was actually not that bad, because in terms of PvP, that did affect him in some sense. So the thing is, if he was not able to one-shot on his second skill, it's almost impossible for him to recover afterwards. So if he's on cooldown and he dies, Abigail will not be able to revive him so that he can go into his God King state again. So actually I thought about it, and it was actually pretty decent for PvP. So it was not so much of a Desolate Lands nerf, or rather a PvE nerf. It was actually a pretty meaningful change. But anyway, as you can see over here, Gaius cooldown extension, it was just a bug. So I'm not too sure whether they actually intended it, or was it truly a bug, or is it going to be included in the future and they just accidentally patched over it in the testing server. I actually wouldn't be too surprised if they went ahead with this change in, let's say, the next patch onwards. In terms of nerfing, I think it makes a lot of sense to do it one step at a time. So for example, for this Gaius nerf, right, I think the idea was actually not bad, because you're actually changing something that isn't going to directly affect him so greatly. It is going to make him more of a glass cannon in most cases, but it doesn't take away from his power, so people will still be happy, but yet at the same time there is still that level of restriction in his kit. So this is very different to how Lilith was nerfed, because Lilith was nerfed across the board. Well, for his second and third skill at least. Okay, so the first skill, I would still argue that the seer debuff is okay. So I do hope that in the future, when they want to do some balancing and all that, they do it one step at a time, so they don't touch every single skills in that one Esper. So like every single patch, we can expect to have like one small tweak in many different Espers, for example, just to play around with the meta and just shift things up a little bit. So like for example, if you want to buff Tang Xuan, I think increase his proc chance of his defense break. So maybe you can increase it from 40% to 60%. I think that will be a pretty good patch, because you're not going to change everything in the game instantly. You're going to do it step by step, and I think that's some of the things that I think the game can adopt moving forward. But then again, this is just my opinion, right? Anyway, that's it for this video. I just needed to clarify, because the Gaius nerf video is actually reaching a lot of people right now, and I need to do a little bit of damage control, not just for the game, but for myself as well. But anyway, hope you guys understand this, and I will see you as always in the next video.